Hi, my name is Vandie Barnard, and I am a Christian creative. What makes me creative is that I think you look all around us, God has each given us some type of some creative outlet, whether it may be writing or speaking or it may be singing, whatever the case may be. God has gifted each and every single one of us, and I truly believe that He's gifted each and every single one of us with some type of gift and some type of talent. And that gift and talent is not meant for only ourselves, it's meant for others, to bless others. So what makes me creative is because, simply put, God made me that way. So God gave me the gifts and talents that He's given to me and given me the resources to be able to help and bless somebody else. I don't think I realized I was a creative. I would say officially realized I was a creative till maybe I was in college, about 21, 22. The reason I say that is because when I was younger, about 13, 14, I was writing. I was writing books. I was writing short stories. I was just writing anything, doing anything to help somebody else, but just because I enjoyed doing it. I was never a singer, so that was my creative outlet, to be able to write. That's what I felt that I was good at. But I say officially because there was a span in that time that I just stopped writing. And I would say it's probably about 7 years that I just completely stopped writing because of outside influences or just different circumstances, or thinking I wasn't good enough to do that. So I completely just stopped writing until, I guess, that creative outlet, or just recognizing who I was and my identity in God and the gifts and talents that He blessed me with, that I was a creative. So being able to write, or being able to train people, to personally train people to be better in their lives, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, just those different things really didn't come out until I was in college, and I kind of got to explore using those different gifts and different talents. I think those situations over time, during that time I was not writing or just doing anything and using my gifts and talents, different experiences, God was preparing me for where I was now and where I am now. For me, being creative is a couple things. And like I said, God has given each and every single one of us different gifts and talents. And for me, one of the main things about being creative is personal training. One of the things that I do is train people, not only from the physical standpoint, but also to train them spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, because God has given us each this one body where each have our spirits living inside of our physical bodies. But if our bodies are not equipped to do the work that God has called us to do, if we're not equipped to do that creative work that God has called us to do, then we're nothing. We're nothing but just an empty vessel. So we have to take care of our spiritual portion, our spiritual body. We have to take care of our mental and our emotional body, also our physical body as well, because that's what God calls us to do, to go out, to create, and to help others. So one of the things I do is make sure that each and every single one of us are equipped to be able to do the work that God has called us to do from a physical standpoint, spiritual and emotional, and also writing as well. It's one of the things that I love to do. Again, it's something I started to do when I was young and just kind of got away from it. But I've started to embrace that idea of just writing down the things that God has given me, the thoughts that He's given to me, and just be able to use that outlet and put it together to help somebody else that may be struggling with something. And that's what I'm doing creatively. That's what God has called me to do. I'm currently working on a couple things, but they tie together. It's, again, kind of one of the things that I work on is spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical fitness and balance. So one of the things that I'm working on is how in our everyday life we can best be able to connect with God and to do what God has called us to do. And from that standpoint, it's a few things, and I make sure that we're equipped from a mental standpoint, physical standpoint. So training clients and creating different workout videos, different workout routines, and just different routines on a daily basis to help us to maximize our everyday journey, our everyday walk. And again, going back to just loving writing, I put that in an outlet where I'm able to, in a sense, write down messages to be able to help encourage people along the way. So some of the things that I do with my clients is just give them a motivational message to kind of go along with their physical journey every single day. So it's tying in that inner being with that outer being as well. To somebody that thinks they aren't creative, the first thing I would say is to just spend more time with God, because it's a trick of the enemy to make us think that we're not anything, that we're nothing. Again, look all around you, from the trees to the sky. God is a creative. He's a creative, and we're made in his image. So that means each and every single one of us has some type of creativity, some type of creative outlet. And there are so many creative outlets. You don't have to be just like somebody else. You're focused on your unique gifts and talents. And that's where spending that time with God comes into play, because if you don't know what those gifts and talents are, you need to have that one-on-one time to God. And I guarantee you that he will reveal it to you. No doubt. No doubt. He wants to talk to us. He wants us to talk and communicate with him. So if we spend that time with him, no doubt we will figure out what our creative outlet is. And it may not be for a business. It may just be for a hobby. It may be your ministry, whatever the case may be. Don't sleep on your creative talents and don't sleep on your creative gift, because the enemy doesn't want you to use that. He doesn't want you to be able to use what God has given to you to glorify God. So you need to make sure that you are somebody, you are something, you are a creative. And if you don't know what that is, you need just pray to God and ask God, and he'll reveal it to you. But I'll say this, if you do know what your creative outlet is or what your creative gift is, I think that's even worse if you know what it is and you don't use it than to not know what it is at all. If you know what your creative outlet is and your creative gift is, use it now and talk to God about how you can use that and apply that. And so for my business, Vandie Fitness, again, it's all about strengthening you spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. All those combinations, all those factors from a physical standpoint, I believe helps us to reach our best overall fitness and maximize ourselves and our day-to-day lives. So it's not just the physical training and the physical portion in terms of working out. A lot of it is just seeing where you're at right now, some of the things that you may be struggling with, and just kind of helping you from a spiritual standpoint, combining the teachings from the word to go in our day-to-day life. That's our overall fitness. And what I do with my clients is, and what I do in my business is helping you from a standpoint one-on-one, in person through physical training, or also just remotely. We're not always able to meet at the same time, and we have busy schedules and different things with families and maybe other ministries and work and extracurricular activities. So my training is remote as well, through online videos, through phone calls, email, Skype, Google Hangout, whatever the case may be. I connect with you, connect with my clients from a remote basis just to help you in your day-to-day life, just to keep your overall fitness. And you can check out everything I have, what I have going on my website, vandiebarfitness.com. Check my Facebook page and follow me on Facebook, Vandie Fitness. Also follow me on Instagram at Vandie Fitness as well. Happy to get in touch with you. Happy to just help you in your physical journey every single day. If you feel that there's something missing, that you just don't have that energy from day to day, or you're not able to from a physical standpoint, or something's not matching, or you're trying just to get in better health so that you can do better what God has for you, just hit me up on any of those outlets. You can also email me, Vandie at vandiebarfitness.com. I'll be happy to chat and get going with you. Just make sure that God is the center of everything you do, that he's on your mind when you wake up, during the day, when you go to sleep, because we need a dose of every single moment that we breathe. And there's so much joy and so much passion and so much peace, I think, that you have in your heart and your soul when you're using those creative outlets to what God would have you to do. There's going to be a sense of a peace, just a sense of knowing that you're using the exact gifts that God has given to you, and you're making him proud every single day. I mean, just think about that. Just making our Father in heaven proud every single day, every single moment. We're using those gifts he's given us to bless somebody. So let's just hold that in the forefront of our mind, just to use those gifts that we have. And if not, seek it hard every single day, and God will reveal it to you. And watch what happens when you're using those gifts to his glory.